I would like to talk about the paradox of our own identity and the art that plays in our lives, on how quite interesting it is that those are the things that we are meant to apply to ourselves to attain the halo, our own enlightenment. So, I'm going to classify at least in two ways based on the things that we have attained in this world and how it's also affecting our spiritual based lives. So, here's the interesting part of our lives is that we take so many years trying to study and attaining a title on what we really want to achieve, be it a doctor, be it a lawyer, a pilot. All those types of professions are to indicate that we are trying to attain an identity of which is worth for this worldly possession. And so you'll spend years studying, and until you finish, that's when you are qualified for that role. And that is how we attach our inner consciousness with that identity. And how it fuels the matrix is that the same way we pay attention to, or how we give value to money, it's the same thing that we give value to the titles. And that's why we end up living in quite a false reality. And so, in this aspect, we have seen so many mental cases arise, not only from professionals, but from other individuals as well. And this is to show that you are acting out a different identity outside yourself. And so you have taken your time all those years trying to give your energy to the external forces which we have been programmed to believe that they are going to better our lives. And so as you study, it's the same way that you can use that time to understand yourself. And as you explore your inner self, you are able to see that there is another identity of you which is beyond the self made titles or which is beyond our understanding. But in order to understand it, there is no external teaching that will show you on how to attain it until you do it yourself. So, on the aspect of Christianity, before you become fully attained as a Christian, you have to go through a process of indoctrination since young, okay? And that's why we are always encouraged to, have children in churches so that they can follow the doctrine. But we forget that even in churches, it doesn't teach people about the power of self reflection. Instead, we are being conditioned to believe the external power, to believe that we have to abide with some sort of morality so that we can attain the kingdom of heaven. But you see, all those years, once you get baptized, that's when you attach yourself as a Christian. But we wonder, why do we have so many rotten people inside the institution of religion? It's because there's a clash of personalities here. So when you spend your life not even paying attention of who you are and pay more attention to other external things, you'll find yourself attaining an identity which doesn't match up with your authentic self because you have not explored that higher sense of self. And when it's attained prematurely, based on what we attach ourselves on external identities, it will clash and it's going to make us damage other people because we have lived all our lives ignoring the shadow. And the shadow, it's us, that inner core, that innermost identity, which is beyond language, which is beyond your own self limited beliefs. And so, when we come to understand the art of life, is that we are being programmed to view at art in a logical way, but not delve deep and see what does this image try to display to us. What are we trying to understand from this? is that in as much as I spent so many years of studying to become a professional, there also needs time to identify myself so that I can harness the power of what is inside me to fuel a better reality. So if we are not taught to look things from a deeper perspective, it's going to ruin how we happen to navigate our inner selves. And so right now, I have to volunteer, or I have to do my best to teach people on how to explore themselves, because that is where the power resides. And by exploring it, we are able to communicate effectively with others so that we can change the reality of things. We need to show people the fabric of this art called life and show them that the things that we attain in the physical realm, it's not compared to what we can attain in the spiritual realm, and that is our inner selves. And so the greatest power is when we discover ourselves, we are able to change the reality around us. It's not the other way around. And those are the types of teachings that people need to go through, because through inner exploration, we are able to see more and more potential and more beauty that we are eager to spread it into the physical realm so that we can change the whole course of how we view our own reality. So, the paradox of identity is that we need to study what we do outside so that we can apply it in our inner selves.